of applause, please. Thank you. To meet key global nutrient milestones, governments and donors need to triple their commitments to nutrition over the next decade to ensure school-going children don't drop out due to direct and indirect impact of malnutrition. To add impetus to this message, and before we open the floor for the media queries, may I please invite Mr. Sandeep Talwar.
Full-fledged quality department है. हमारा जो head of quality है वो 6 Sigma Master Black Belt है उसका qualification. और हर kitchen में 2 quality officers हैं. और सारे major kitchens में food labs है और quality labs है जहाँ check होता है खाना. जो government recommended guidelines है उसको हर रोज check करते हैं हम लोग और हर रोज बच्चों से feedback आता है. There's a daily feedback mechanism and we keep correcting. So children say that we like this meal, so we try to incorporate that. So all our kitchens meet nutritional norms which are prescribed by the government, and anybody is free to walk into our kitchen and check those data.
अच्छा, एक चीज़ मैं क्वालिटी की बात आपने करी है तो मैं बता देता हूँ. हम लोग पिछले महीने गूगल में मतलब दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी कंपनी है, दुनिया की अल्फ़ाबेट लार्जेस्ट कंपनी, वहाँ पर खाने पे बहुत महत्व दिया जाता है कि खाना बहुत अच्छा होता है, सब कुछ होता है. सो वी वर इनवाइटेड, वी वेंट देयर, दैट वाज पार्ट ऑफ अक्षय पात्रा फंड रेजिंग टूर दैट आई वाज डूइंग देयर. तो वहाँ पे हम गए, किचन में हमें इनवाइट किया उन्होंने, तो मैं वहाँ पे उनके शेफ़ से उनके क्वालिटी के बारे में पूछ रहा था कि किस तरह से मॉनिटर करते हैं, क्या नहीं करते हैं. सो यू विल बी हैप्पी टू नो कि अक्षय पात्रा के क्वालिटी पैरामीटर्स जिस तरह से जो चीज़ें होती हैं, जितने मैंने टेस्ट किए, वो सारे गूगल की किचन से ज़्यादा थे. सो वी आर टॉकिंग दोज काइंड ऑफ स्टैंडर्ड्स. इंडिया की बात छोड़ दें.
एक चीज़ मैं और भी पूछना चाहती हूँ कि महाराष्ट्र में कौन कौन से जगह पे आपके सबसे ज़्यादा स्कूल्स में दिए जाते हैं, वो थोड़ा महाराष्ट्र की.
महाराष्ट्र में अभी फिलहाल नागपुर में किचन शुरू किया है. 5000 बच्चे को हर रोज़ खाना मिलता है. और थाना में करीबन अगले 1 महीने में नया किचन शुरू होगा 5000 बच्चों के लिए. और काफ़ी सपोर्ट मिल रहा है हमें गवर्नमेंट से और किचन्स खोलने का. We are a public-private partnership. So 10 rupees is my cost of meal for last year. 60% of that comes from the government, union government and the state government in the form of grain subsidy and cash subsidy. And 40% is what we raise. So if you're feeding million children every day, we need about 50 lakh rupees every day to feed these children.
And what do you get associated with Vivek, Oberoi and Sonali?
You see, what happens is we are a very service-oriented, low-profile organization. You would have heard that many of the celebrities, they said, we haven't heard of Akshay Patra. Now, what happens is, if, let's say India has got 500 million adults. If 1 in 100 decides to feed a child, we can triple our reach in just few months' time. Okay? Now, for this, awareness is required. And in Akshay Patra, 93% of what the donor gives goes to the program, to the child directly. Now, so we don't have much money to spend on advertisements. All this thing, what you're saying, are all coming from support from Viacom, Facebook, Google, all the celebrities here. So awareness is extremely important. So that's how we reached out to celebrities like Shankar, Vivek, Sanjeev, Sonali ji, okay, and all the corporates. Because we alone cannot cater to India. Who are we alone? Unless all of us join hands, we can't solve this problem. And this is the biggest problem the country faces. If you ask me which is, GDP is not our big problem. Biggest problem of India is hunger. Okay?
I think what's incredible about Akshay Patra, and I like to repeat what he says, that when I work with a lot of global organizations, and I've seen that their administrative expenses go from between 25% all the way to 60%. So on every rupee that you donate, sometimes even 60 paise goes towards administrative expenses. Just to give this perspective, 93%, that is 93 paise of every rupee going physically to the cause, is a 1 in a million achievement. There must be 1 in every million NGOs, non-governmental organizations, who are able to achieve this efficiency. this scale of efficiency on such a large model is very, very difficult. So the idea is to come out there. In fact, I've been talking to Sridhar even before this event, saying that, whatever I can do to come on board, create more awareness, use digital media, social media. And ever since last 15 years, I've been doing, associating myself with different social causes and seeing phenomenal results, impact. And one of the phenomenal results that I've seen is that there are millions of people, youth, from not just India, but across the globe, who get inspired and they reach out to me saying that I heard you speaking at this forum, or I heard your interview, or I watched you on television. I want to associate. I want to be a part of it. Guide me how. And it's just a step of linking. So it started with fundraising to educate girls. And this is a much smaller financial commitment. It's only 5 rupees. That cost is a lot more. And yet we have a situation where sometimes we have less number of children and more people interested in donating and educating them. Young people who say, okay, it just cost me this much. It cost me 80 rupees, 70 rupees, which is what I spend on a cup of coffee in a cafe. Let me go out there and give her 3 meals, food, education, healthcare, everything as a package. So like that, I think a lot of people will come forward for Akshaya Patra. And once we raise the awareness, I'm sure people will respond.
Well, first I heard of it as an event happening. I said, what is this event? I don't do too many of them. Then, of course, all the details came to me. And I was traveling, a lot of things happening. You know, you're so caught up in your own life. And quite frankly, it was literally towards the end of last few days that I actually got involved, because I had a lot of other things going on. Sat with my team. I said, what is it? No, what is this event that you're talking about? What is this? And then I came to know what they're talking about. I said, my God, this is amazing. When you read through it, what they're doing, it's very obvious. A lot of people come to you with a lot of causes. It's kind of fashionable to there are a lot of causes that keep coming and everybody's associated with 100 other things. But I do try as much as I can that, do whatever you can to find out and actually like what you're doing and then get associated with it. And this is what it was. What you read and what you saw told you that, my God, this is not just some event. This is an amazing cause. In my life, I've always said it's the small things that matter. And this is what this was. When you associate with causes also, it's not about the bigger picture. There are a lot of people here. I will never be able to do the bigger picture, and probably I will not achieve and ever be able to solve all the problems that are there. But what do? Do I, for that reason, don't lift a finger? Doesn't happen. We all have to do what we have to do in our own way. It doesn't have to be big. It needs to be small, and it needs to be regular, and that's all it takes. Also, what I really realize is all of us human beings are very happy and willing to help. Most of the time, we are not aware. Most of the time, we think, ye pata nahi kidhar jane wala hai. Actually use hoga bhi ya nahi. We are a little cynical about it. So if I can come out and tell you that, guys, I can be cynical also, but here I believe, and I've seen and I like what I see, and I would like to pledge my support. Please, you should also pledge your support. Because I'm not asking for something big, a huge chunk of time, a huge amount of money. It's about something small. But the fact is that little small, coming from everybody, can turn into a huge movement and can solve a big crisis. And that's what is the reality of all our lives. It's the small things that matter. And here, it is a small contribution that matters. And that's why here I'm requesting. I pledge my support. I hope you do yours too.
मेरा आप सभी से सवाल है, अगर आप लोग सामने यहाँ पर लेफ्ट साइड,
That's Jyoti, right? Jyoti from Zoom.
From Zoom. मेरा सवाल ये है कि हाल ही में आपने पढ़ा भी होगा और न्यूज़ भी आती रहती है कि मील जो सप्लाई होते हैं कई गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स में, उसके इफ़ेक्ट पड़ते हैं, अच्छे नहीं होते हैं, जिसकी वजह से बच्चों को एडमिट करना पड़ता है, बहुत सारी चीज़ें होती हैं, लेकिन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कहता है हमने अच्छी मील्स दिए हैं, सप्लाई ठीक नहीं हुआ. तो आप लोग कितने केयरफुल होते हैं जब आप किसी से सपोर्ट लेते हैं और जब जाते हैं उन्हें सप्लाई करने के लिए, तो क्या बीच में ऐसी चीज़ें, क्योंकि आपने सुना ही होगा कि इंडिया मोस्ट करप्ट सिटी के लिस्ट में नंबर टॉप पर है और बहुत सारे करप्शंस होते हैं, तो किस तरह से आप लोग डील करते हैं और किस तरह से प्योर जो फूड है वो पहुंचता है?
जब बिहार में 21 बच्चों की मौत हुई थी, तो गवर्नमेंट ने अक्षय पत्र को अप्रोच किया था कि जो मिड डे मील वर्कर्स होते हैं उनको ट्रेन करने के लिए. So Akshay Patra is the official training partner of Government of India on the midday meal scheme. So batches after batches we train midday meal workers. ये हमारा काम सेंट्रल किचन से बच्चों को खाना देते हैं हम लोग, पर as a social initiative we have been doing this. See, Akshay Patra, one of the cornerstone principle is, what if the mother had resources? What kind of meal she would have given to the child? We try to give that meal. We can't replace mother's meal, but we want to ensure that it's hygienic. Okay? So जो vessels जिसमें खाना बन, practically खाना untouched by human hand होता है अक्षय पात्र में. तो जब तक स्कूल में डिलीवरी होती है उसकी, तब तक practically untouched by human hand होता है. और फूड ग्रेड वेसल में खाना बनता है, खाना पहुंचाते हैं, और जब बच्चा उसको खाता है तब करीबन 65 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड टेम्परेचर होता है खाने का. और अभी हम लोगों ने इंसुलेटेड वेसल में भेजना शुरू किया है, उसके कारण और कंजम्पशन बढ़ गया है. सो फूड सेफ्टी, अगर आप बोलो टॉप गोल क्या है, जीरो फूड सेफ्टी इंसिडेंस इज अवर फर्स्ट गोल इन अक्षय पात्र.
थैंक यू.
मैं एक चीज़ बिल्ड करना चाह रहा था आपके सवाल पे जनरल, कि हम ना कई बार बहुत क्रिटिकल रहते हैं हमारे देश के लिए कि बहुत करप्ट, सबसे करप्ट देश है, सबसे ये है, सबसे वो है. देखिए, बहुत सारी चीज़ें हमारे देश में भी अब बदल रही हैं, और होता क्या है कि जो आपको एक करप्ट कहानी सुनाई देती है वो बहुत फैलाई जाती है, वो सुनने में बड़ा सब लोगों को मज़ा आता है, वो बहुत मज़ेदार कहानी होती है. लेकिन एक करप्ट कहानी के पीछे 100 ईमानदार कहानियाँ हमेशा होती हैं. उनको ज़्यादातर वो क्या होता है, वो बोरिंग कहानियाँ मानी जाती हैं, उनकी कोई बात नहीं करता, उनको कोई सुनाता नहीं है. सो ऑलवेज बी प्राउड ऑफ द नेशन इंडिया इज, in 70-75 years of democracy, what we have achieved, America had also not achieved. Let me tell you categorically. So I think we are on a very good path. There is a lot to be done. It is not to say there is not lot. There are no issues. There are no challenges. They are all there. But that's why we are all there. We have to try and solve them in our own little way.
Thank you, Mr. Vats. We enjoyed the generosity of our hospitality partner, the Lalit. And before we close this event, request all of you to please do collect the delightful snacks put together by the Lalit. Feed the Futures Now hospitality partner. Thank you all for a wonderful show, and hope to see you all contribute towards making our country a Poshit Bharat, Shikshit Bharat. We will have the one-on-ones out.